thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about some things that mess up your back. Now, one of the big factors in a low back achiness or a sore low back is usually linked to some tight hip flexors as well as weak or tight gluteals. Now, I went over in another video on some of the stretches that we do. Today we're going to talk about my favorite rehab or prehab exercises to get your back better. Now, doing nothing is not a very good choice. If you want to stay the same, keep doing that. One of the things that bothers me the most is people don't take action and actually do something and see a plan to fruition. So the next few things that I'm going to show you do work. Listen to your body. If you have significant pain, make sure you see a doctor before you try any of these exercises. All right, so we're going to first start off. The great thing about some of these movements is all you need is some floor. And I prefer these kinds of movements. You can use gym equipment, and we'll get into a couple things that require a little more equipment. But let's start off with the basic arch up or a free fall. Now, the key ingredient with this one is that you feel movement not only through the low back, but also through the hips. If you're having discomfort, a lot of people will just elevate and keep the hands supported to take a little bit of their torso weight off. But otherwise, it's extension, and you can arch up and down, nice and slow, bringing in some warmth through the low back, glutes, and hamstrings. Now, the next thing we're going to move into is a basic hip bridge. Now, I use hip bridges for a lot of things, but one of the big things is to make sure muscles are working the way they're supposed to. If you listen to some of my podcasts on fixing a low back, this one is highlighted a lot. Now here, driving through the heels, hips are lifting up and down. Now I have a lot of people that'll do this, up and down, it'll look similar to this, and I'll ask them at the end of their set, where'd you feel it? And of course they didn't feel it anywhere. Make sure you have a mind-muscle connection here, making a connection to drive through the heels, squeeze your tushy as you come up. Keep your navel slightly pulled in so you keep a nice flat back as you're going up and down. So this is a basic hip bridge. It'll start to activate the muscles of the glutes, and hopefully calm down the hip flexors as well. For the next movement, we're going to move into a partial leg lift. One of the important things in protecting the back is developing a strong core, strong abdominal wall, specifically the muscles of the low abs. So to do this, lift the legs up. They can be slightly bent if you need to. From here, we're going from 90 degrees to 45 degrees. Now, the trick behind this and the details here is that we keep the navel pulled in and back down. Most people will do this extremely arch their back, lower the legs all the way up and down. We want to avoid this motion. We want to stay clean in the abdominal wall. We keep the movement pure by keeping the navel pulled in and back pulled to floor. If you're a member at a commercial gym, you can use a GHD or a classic back extension for some of these movements. But most people that I work with, they're working out at home. A Swiss ball is all you need to add some more diversity in your low back conditioning or prehab. This movement here is a classic back extension. Let me give you a little bit of an angle. You can keep the knees slightly bent to make sure you're getting some extension through the low back. You can also extend the legs and support them up against the wall. Otherwise, we're a little bent in the knee and we're arching up and down. Now, this is a very small motion, but starts to bring in heat directly into the paraspinals of the low back. So you don't need much movement to isolate the low back. Now, you can buy $2,000 reverse hyper, but the vast majority of people can use a Swiss ball and a fixed object here. I'm using some of the gymnastics equipment to hold my body in position. Again, I'm using my large Swiss ball, laying my abdomen over the ball, and holding onto a fixed object. From here, the heels come up and down, creating a nice contraction of the glutes, low back, and hamstrings. No need to go into hyperextension here. We don't need to come up all the way this way and exacerbate the arch of the low back. Control the movement, try to work in line with the body. All right, so thanks for joining me. I gave you guys some ideas on exercises you can do for your low back. Apply those multiple times a week in conjunction with your mobility. Check out my mobility video, and also come visit us on our website at Nomads with a Purpose. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. I need to feed my kids.